What it do? Been a long time. Shouldn't have left you without a video to think through. Okay, I'm done. Freaking Young Grizzly, the beat maker here. Anyways, I sound like Timberland over here. So I want to talk a little bit about this Pearly things debacle. I understand it. I don't think she should have said it, but what I'm seeing is a fucking psyop. Like, I'm seeing people come out of the woodworks talking about this. I'm seeing people saying things like, we told y'all so, what did you expect from the mayonnaise woman, so on and so forth. And I don't think it should have been said. I understand. Like, there's a lot of different Holocausts that have happened, right? One being, like, the worst that I've known is the Armenian Holocaust, which is freaking crazy. And it's not like a freaking Holocaust of fucking Olympics or some shit like that. Or oppression, some type of Olympic event where it's just like, no, mine is worse than yours, so on and so forth, right? Like, I'm not trying to make it that. But we've seen this. We've seen shit like this, or we've seen and heard about this for a long time. So people are getting outraged that she's saying this shit. Cool, no problem. But the videos that I'm seeing in terms of where people are coming out more and more about it, I'm like, man, this is what y'all wanted for a long time. Like, y'all found y'all in, and y'all just like, y'all going at it. All right, cool, do your thing. But understand this. The people that are talking about it, men, women, they're gynocrats. A lot of them are talking about this shit just so they can get you back in line, black men. Get back in line, black men, just like that woman said on that newscast. Get back in line and vote Democrat. That's what I'm seeing here. And a lot of dudes are just getting right back in line. I'm not saying what she said was like, you know, I don't think she should have said it. But honestly, what did she say that was so fucking like this outrageous, outlandish? Oh my God, this is exactly what she thinks underneath it all. You know, all of y'all should have known. We seen this. We try to tell you, brothers, but you guys didn't want to listen to us. And then you leave your black female family. You leave your black families. You leave your black families, and this is what you get, you know, and so on and so forth. There's no men in the house, and then there's no men in this community. They're seeing all fucking Danica Marie. Is it Danica Marie? Yeah, Danica Marie and fucking Six the Goddess, bro, are making content about this shit. I'm like, whoa, okay. All right, man. When I saw that, I was just like, yo, man. I mean, I got a couple personal things that are happening, and I'll probably make a video about it, whether good or bad. So I'll probably make a video about it. But I'm just hearing some of this shit. I'm just seeing some of these videos, man. Like, I'm not even listening to them. I'm just seeing some of the videos that are being created about this shit, and it's just like, wow. I feel y'all, but this is a bit much. I'm not gonna lie, this shit seems like a little bit too much for me. And all I can see is psyop. All I can see is they're trying to get you back in line. They're trying to get you to think, you know, think the way of the gynocrat. You know what I mean? Like, they're trying to get y'all to think the same way or get back in line in terms of what your thinking was, and say, hey, listen, you know, this is a problem. We need to stick together, kumbaya. And it's just like, I'm not going to lie, the slavery talk, again, I am a Jamaican, so you could take that for what it was. You could say, oh, this is non-ADOS babble or non-FBA babble coming up here. But I really do believe at this point in time in our timeline, and in our like societal consciousness, whatever you want to call it, I mean, slavery is a distraction. The slavery talk is a distraction. If y'all ain't doing something that's structured, and I'm talking to FBA ADOS, if y'all ain't doing something, and I'm saying y'all because last time I even checked, you know, or last time, you know, if I was to say anything, like, I would be probably questioned in certain circles, you know? Oh, you're Jamaican, you wouldn't know. And I've grown up here my entire life. Literally, I was born here. Like, I understand that, but the culture at home is different. So I will put that in there. But I will say y'all when I say this. But if it ain't structured in terms of getting reparations, in terms of actually getting some type of change, which there has been small change by certain groups, if it ain't that, then honestly, it's a distraction. It's just a way to hold on to something. It's almost like a coping mechanism for your life as it is right now. And a lot of people, or a lot of times when I hear people talk about this stuff, I understand what you're saying. Like, this is how I always like approach it. I understand what you're saying. Let me put it in this format, or in this way. When people say, hey, listen, you need to vote. Your vote is important. I really do believe that. And I understand what you're saying. That's cool. But, you need to vote for the right president and all this other stuff. That's cool. Tomorrow, I'm still going to have to get up and go to work. Oh, yeah. So, by the way, that's my friend's Chihuahua. That's my friend's Dachshund. Dachshund. I don't fucking know how you pronounce that. Dachshund. So, I'm finally going to send him back today. Taking care of him for like 2 weeks while he went to Jamaica. But I really don't like small dogs at all. Anyways, but where was I? I'm so out of practice with this stuff. So yeah, and I understand, what people say, the importance of certain things. But at the end of the day, tomorrow I still have to wake up and go to work. I have to make certain things, make adjustments to my life, so that I can live a longer, more fruitful life. I have to save up a little bit more. Like right now, the only debt that I have is a truck in the house. And from this point on, what I'm going to do is, my next goal is to save up 6 months of expenses. That means my mortgage, my dad's mortgage, because I just started paying that, car note, all that other stuff. And then, whatever the monthly expenses that I have on my spreadsheet, right? And then actually I have to start giving my mom some money too. So factoring all of that in, and that's like my next goal. So when I hear people talk about reparations, slavery, the oppression that we went, that Black Americans went through in terms of the slave trade, they're part of the slave trade. Jamaicans went through their own different issues when it came to the slave trade. But a lot of this stuff just seems like it's almost distractionary. Like it can't be moved past. A lot of people are still stuck on, slavery. And it's not to say stuck on it in a non-productive way, meaning that there hasn't been any forward progress in their lives, but somehow, or there hasn't been the forward progress that even they desire in their lives, but somehow they always find a way to reach back and look at slavery, look at, Jim Crow and all these other things, and how they've affected how it's affected them. When we know that there have been other people that have gone past this and made it past that barrier to the point where they don't, not that it doesn't affect them, but they've moved past it, period. Right? So this is the thing that kills me a little bit when I see this, and I'm like, okay, I feel what you're saying, but what are we doing in our lives to move past these things, right? Like, what are we doing to actually enact change that is going to affect our children and the next generation? So when I see this, and let me bring it back home, sorry for rambling here, but when I see this and I see this whole thing about pearly things, it just seems like a big psyop. It just seems like a way to get Black men to re-engage them emotionally and get Black men back in line and back into the quote-unquote conversation, the never-ending conversation, the non-progressing conversation where we're talking about relationships, we're talking about families, Black families, Black society, and Black society in Western society. We're talking about all these things, but nobody's really moving the fucking needle. They're just moving it back, if anything, if the needle's moving at all. So they're moving it back while everyone else is progressing. Again, I am not saying we shouldn't, Black Americans shouldn't fight for all these things. They shouldn't fight for reparations. They shouldn't fight for, they shouldn't fight for a way to get what's owed to them in terms of what they did, because there are websites out there. There's one guy that tracked down where he's like, yo, you could look at your family to see who owned you and then see how much they made off of you, or even the sale of you, or your ancestors, I should say, and then take that and then put it in today's dollars. Like, you could really you could really track that shit down. And it's just like kind of crazy. I was like, wow, that's actually amazing. And that's like really a way that you could look at it and say, hey, this is how much slavery affected me financially, in terms of the race that we have, the race that we have in terms of generational wealth, intergenerational wealth. So it's like, that's a movement. That is something where it's like, that's a movement forward. Hey, Charlie, bring your half-blind, Charlie. I call him Possum. Look at that boy running. That's a movement. That's something that's like, okay, we're making forward progress. But this shit that I'm seeing with Pearly Things, they trying to suck y'all back in. And it ain't a blowjob. I'm telling you that fucking much right now. These motherfuckers trying to suck black men back into the panels and the talks and the chat rooms and all this other shit. Oh, y'all, see, y'all white queen, the one that y'all love and all this other shit. And it's just like, bro, you know, all y'all doing is just activating the actual racist white guys to say, wow, maybe this Pearl is not so bad. You know, maybe this Pearl person really is here for us and we could use her appropriately. You know, like, this is what's fucking, like, it's like people, I'm sure people don't fucking see this shit. That, bro, I was like, oh, I'm not sure how people don't see this shit. And again, I'm not no fucking great thinker like some of the other brothers in this space. You know, your Grinch, your Eds, BGS, Dr. T.S.on Johnson, you know, Green Gorilla, you know, Black Guru, Black Mind, shit, even Don Calypso. Who else? You know, I'm not that much of a thinker like that, right? But I can fucking see this shit. That these, like, when I see Six the Goddess and Danica Marie get together about just Pearly Things, again, just seeing the title, not watching the content. But I know Six the Goddess, and it comes to Danica Marie, she's on the fence with a lot of stuff. So it kind of may be interesting to hear what she has to say. And I have fucking 6 hours of driving to do. Anyway, so I might fucking click on that. But when I see this shit, to me, this is just get in line, black man. This is all this is. This is re-engage emotionally. And all they're doing is just really engaging people emotionally, getting people back in line emotionally. And this shit is very fucking annoying. When are people, like, and I've said this before, when is enough going to be enough? When are people going to say, hey, I'm tired of this shit and I want it to change. I want it to be better. And when I say better, I just don't want to fucking be triggered by this shit anymore. They're trying to fucking trigger men. And that's all it is. They're trying to fucking trigger men so they can fucking go off for one reason or another and then be fucking distracted because guess what? White supremacy and all this other shit. And it's just like, bro, I'm not gonna fucking lie to you. These white motherfuckers is out here fucked, okay? These Hispanic people fucked. Like, the only people that are fucking gonna do well are the people that are gonna work together with other people that are close to them. The last night, this is the last story and I'll land my plane here. You know, fucking landing gears coming down. But last night I was at the gas station, right? And I saw like 3 distinct things. I saw a white dude, or Brad, and his Keisha on a bike. That guy's bike broke down, battery, whatever, right? It was a nice bike. It was like a Hayabusa, it looked like. So, you know, so they're stuck at the gas pump and, you know, they can't start it back up. And I'm like, damn, sucks, man. You know, and I offered help and everything else like that. And I said, hey, listen, is there anything I could do? I mean, is it just a battery or something like that? And I got a fucking Silverado 2500 diesel. Like, I think what happens is when you plug those 2 things in, they can overload one another. I can probably overload the battery on his bike or something. So that's what I was thinking. I was like, whoa. I was like, yeah, man, I probably overload it. He's like, yeah, the only way you can probably help is if you pull start it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I just walked away after that. I was like, oh, well, all right, man, good luck. Peace. So then before that, I looked to my left and I wouldn't have said anything. I wouldn't have like noticed it if it wasn't for like this dog barking in the back of this woman's car. And this guy's half blind, but my dog keeps on fucking with these. So if it wasn't for this dog in the back of this lady's car that is like going off just barking, and I'm like, why am I able to see this dog's feet? This dog's probably maybe about twice the size of her, right? Or twice the size of the Chihuahua over there. And I'm like, why am I seeing this dog's feet? That's because the lady in her back seat has a whole back seat just full of all types of shit, to where the dog's standing on it, to the point where this stuff is piled up so high that it's on the it's on the same level as her headrest. or where her headrest or seat and the headrest meet, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, the dog's just going off, barking. I'm just fucking like losing it. And I'm like, God damn, bro. And the reason I noticed is because I smelled like I just smelled like some shit. And I was like, bro, what the fuck is that? But that might have been something else. Anyways, then I walk, and that's like number 2. I walk into the store, and then if y'all remember Star Trek, where Khan, I forgot which Star Trek it was, but there was like, you know, Khan, he was played by Benedict Cumberbatch. He was played by Benedict Cumberbatch, and they had a Dreadnought class starship. It's big as fuck, but it's pretty much made to be ran by a small crew, small to 1-person crew. So this is what I'm seeing is Dreadnought class fucking gas stations, bro. Dreadnought class gas stations where it has like 1 person, maybe all they're doing is stocking, and everything else is automated. I've seen this in a couple gas stations, but I don't know why that night it kind of fucking hit me because, oh, this is why it hit me. Because the 2 ladies at the counter, right? One is playing on her phone. Actually, both of them are playing on their fucking phone, right? And barely doing any fucking work. Because guess what? I could put everything on the... It's like a little tray, and then you could put it down, and then it'll look at the items, weigh it, and look at it. But it was ringing up my soda as like hot sauce. And I'm like, no, that's not hot sauce. So the lady was like, oh, okay, let me help you out. So she helps me out. I get everything done. But I'm just laughing in my head because I'm like, y'all are out here. Y'all are over there playing on your phones. And this motherfucking thing is about to fucking take your job. And I'm just laughing. Like all these things happening. And I'm just fucking losing it laughing. Shit is fucking hilarious to me. Hey, Glenora, stop. Stop, stop. Stop. Stop it. So, Glenora usually picks on the fucking Chihuahua. Or Lucy, which is the white and brown one. But I need to put her fucking shock collar back on. Anyways, so you're seeing this more and more, man. Like where, you know, all these distractions aside, if you let this stuff keep on distracting you, you're going to put yourself in a really bad position. And before you know it, everything around you is changing. Even your fucking employment status. Y'all have a nice day. Love you. Bye.